Ooh, did I get lucky? Yes. I think that turned out really cute. This part is about to get messy. So it looks like the design is a part of the wave. Pretty simple. Hi everyone, it's Tiana. I want to introduce you to Maniology Live. Hello, thank you so much. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome, welcome. Make sure so you don't miss out on all these really cool videos that you click the notification bell that lets you know when we go live so you can join in instantly. What I'm going to talk to you guys about is we have a new release of 5 plates that are perfect for the introduction of summer. I would say these plates are definitely kind of inspired by beach culture in general, not necessarily from Hawaii, but you'll definitely see a lot of themes that are surrounding beach culture. So this is the Hangloose collection, that's what we've called it, and this is a revamp of a collection we used to carry in square plates, but you know, now we're doing these XL style plates. So here I'm going to introduce M207, and here are some full nail style kind of like buffet plates. So basically the way that, you know, a plate like this would work is that you could just pick any element that you want and stamp that to your nails. If you wanted to, you could also isolate these concepts as well. You can color them in. You know, the sky's the limit with a plate like this. So here you can see closer, there's like this little cute whale here. You got some anchors and some wave elements and all kinds of stuff. Over here, you have some, I guess a lot more individual, like you could isolate them if you wanted to. So you have sunglasses and this really cute starfish. I noticed another starfish here. You got some fishies if you wanted to add that to your nail, and some underwater creatures. So really fun stuff. The next plate I have here is M208. So this plate right here has a lot of different like surf words. I'm sorry, not surf words, beach words. You know, really fun stuff. If you wanted like to do a textile nail design, you could do that. You have some like individual elements here that you could layer, isolate, do things like that. And then you also have like these, I like these kind of word thingies, especially if that's the theme of your manicure. You can really do a lot with these. Okay, so the next one is M209. Oh, sorry, 209. And so this plate, as you can see, it has a little bit of everything. So it has some full nail designs plus some individual stuff. And I'm going to show you this really cool concept using this palm frond right here. But so you got some popsicles, you got all these different cloud blurps, I guess I'll call them. Watermelon, some sweet treats, flamingos, and of course pineapples here. And then all different types of plants, foliage, palm fronds, things like that. So there's a lot you can do with this plate too. If you wanted to, of course, with all these different tree styles, you could do like a sunset concept, you know, with a gradient background and then putting like a silhouette of a tree. Seeing a lot of really nice manicures like that. The next plate I have is M210. So of course, this plate has a lot of really cool fish scales, mermaid scales in general. So I stamped this design. So I'm going to show you how I did this. And then of course you have more foliage here. This one is really cute too. So you have like a little coral tree. So I had an idea for this too, but basically you could kind of layer different corals and maybe different colors onto your nail. There's that. And these little fun sand dollars. We actually don't have sand dollars in Hawaii. And then here is the last of the plates. So this is M211. This is another buffet style plate. So as you can see, there's a lot of concepts you can do here. So this almost looks like 2 rectangular designs. So again, pick an area, just go ahead and you can apply that to your nail. And then over here, you have like these really cool swirly patterns, just a lot of stuff you can do, especially if you're really interested in reverse stamping. You got a lot of different ideas. So I have a few plates that I'm gonna use to show you some concepts. Like I said, I did 5 designs for you guys. Yeah, we have no sand dollars in Hawaii. So I'm gonna show you how to use, I'm gonna do a reverse stamping with the watermelon here. And if you notice this smudge, that was totally my fault. I was doing something and my nail just like smudged it right when I transferred it. So I'm gonna show you a version that doesn't look like that. And then I have the Aloha. So now you remember how I showed you that word? I'm actually gonna use the flower instead. I think I'm gonna change the color though. I don't know, for some reason I'm not feeling the purple, but I thought it was kind of cute to maybe use the hibiscus flower instead of this little swirl that comes with the Aloha. So I just isolated it and I used the flower instead with a gradient background. Then I have this design that looks like a wave. So you see like the whitewash and stuff coming. So there's that. And I use this actually with the sheer polish base. This nail I've already shown you guys, which is just going to be some fish scales, but there is some iridescence to it. So I layered a few polish colors to kind of get this effect, which I think looks really cool. And this is the palm frond manicure that I'm going to show you guys. This actually does take a lot of stamping of the same design, but I did all of this using just this image right here. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and begin with the reverse stamping because I can go ahead and get that colored in while I'm working on the rest of these designs for you. So let's go ahead and get that. Let me get my area set up. And I have my nail tip ready. So all I did is just put down a white base. I'm using a lot of colors, so I will try to do my best to say which colors I'm using. But if you have something that is similar, please feel free to use it. I'm just using all stamping polishes here. So I'm using our BAM white, and I'm just painting the base. So I hope you guys stick around today. Today is, I hope it gives you inspiration for all the different, summer's a long season. So you can do all of these looks this season. Okay, it's white base, and now just leave that on the side to dry. Now taking the straight up black here, and paint that over the watermelon design. I thought when I used the colors, I wanted to do something electric, not like a real, what do you call, watermelon, I guess. So that's why I used like the really bright colors. I thought that was kind of fun. But it kind of looked like dragon fruit to me instead. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my detail brush here, and the detail brush is thinner. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Empire Club, or you can just use a bright green for the rind. Just gonna put some green. Now, if this is your first time seeing me or seeing reverse stamping, some general reminders or some little tidbits, because I've gone over reverse stamping before, but I like to do the like plop and drag method. I don't really, when you watch me color, I try not to touch the design too much, and it's just because I don't want to reconstitute the stamping polish that's already on the stamper here. And what that can do is if you continue to keep dragging, say for instance like the black, you can actually wet the polish and be smudging your image underneath, and you don't want to do that, because when you stamp your image, you want it to be as clear as possible. Well, that's the idea. Oops. So for me personally, I really try not to touch the image too much. I went a little outside the line, but let's see if I can. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that because I might end up just picking the image up completely. It's okay, sometimes it happens. So here I'm just taking a little dot of the green and I'm kind of just dragging that polish through. And actually this image is really nice and forgiving because the black lines are really thick, which means that it gives you a lot of play area to color in this particular design. So if you want to see how big, also that's kind of how big the blob I'm putting onto the brush. So there's not much. And another comment too, when you're doing this, if you think your blob on your brush is too much, pick up, get rid of that polish and pick up again and make sure it's less, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'll flip this over in a second so you can see what that design looks like underneath. I just want to make a note that you'll notice that I actually have a lot of polish. So you see my little brush on this side? I do have a lot of polish, but I want to note that your polish should be wet. If it starts getting stringy, you need wet polish. So just go ahead and put another glob on. It's important when you're doing reverse stamping to have wet polish. Okay, I'm almost done painting all these rinds, so then I will get to the actual fruit part. So here you'll see that I'm actually coloring in the design, and that is called reverse stamping. This particular technique is just I'm reverse stamping and I'm coloring onto the stamper. There's several ways you can do this. This is just my preferred method. And yeah, I've talked about this method in several different videos. If you want to learn how to do this, I would recommend watching a video where I specifically talk about reverse stamping. But today it's just more about inspiration, and then also you can help join in on the conversation and or just watch me do this technique. But today, if you're just joining in, I just showcased our newest plate release, which is called Hangloose. We just released it today, so several hours ago, if you didn't check your inbox or get your newsletter. If you weren't aware, we actually do have a newsletter, so sign up. So here you can see me. I just grabbed some. Oh, I didn't tell you the pink. Sorry about that. I'm using Prancing Pink. I wanted to use like a really kind of bright pink here to show the watermelon. I figure it'd be just a fun electric watermelon, not anything to look exact. Like I said, it's stamping. It's meant to be creative. You do it however you want to. This is just what I was feeling today. Okay, for those who are wondering about the drying time, don't worry about that because I'm gonna use a sticky base coat, and that is going to help transfer this design to the nail. Okay. So here, so far, this is what the design looks like. Isn't that fun? See, doesn't it look more like dragon fruit than, or pitaya, as opposed to watermelon, but that's okay. The pink dragon fruit is my favorite. So there you go. I am done with my watermelon, pitaya, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the side and we'll transfer it later, okay? Now moving on to the next design. Here. I am going to do this Aloha. So I got three main colors I guess I'm going to use. I'm going to use Rave Babe and Pencils Down for the gradient. And then like I said, for the flower part, I'm actually going to try and use blue glue. I don't know, I just think it looks a little bit more better. Okay, so here I'm actually going to use the technique of sponging on my gradient, my vertical gradient. So let me... Okay, so simply we're just going to put some of this electric peachy color. It's like a, yeah, electric peach, salmon, beautiful color. And this yellow. And don't be afraid to blend the colors in the center, because that's ultimately what you want. You want to make a gradient. So if it overlaps, don't even worry about it. And we're gonna take off the excess. So what I'm gonna do is actually like kind of blot this a little. And it just kind of helps to blend the colors a little. So there you go. And I'm just gonna press that into the nail. We don't want to make it too textured, but we want to continue blotting where it starts to blend in the center, you see? Okay. If you keep doing this while it's wet, it's gonna get textured. And we don't want to do that. So let's just let that sit. Let's do that process over again. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that salmony peachy color. And this beautiful bright yellow. Like I said, don't worry. Go ahead and overlap those colors because you want it to blend. Blend, and we're gonna blot. Okay, so there you go. There's my vertical gradient, and it has like a slight peachy hue in the center. Okay. Don't throw this away. So when this dries, you can use it again. And while that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and paint my base for this next one, which, like I mentioned, I'm using actually our sheer blue, which is Ocean Depths. This is from our, I think it's our Rainbow Splash collection. So this is a really deep blue, but I'm only gonna do one coat because I want it to be slightly sheer. So yeah, look how deep that color is. Okay, just even coat. Now this is actually, even though it's sheer, it's meant to also be a stamping polish too. I think it looks amazing over white, or I guess light colors. So let's go ahead and let that dry. Okay. Still tacky. Let's see, what else base can we work on? I think I can do this one too while we're waiting. So this one I'm going to use Doll Dance because I really wanted like a really light blue base for that tip. So I'm going to use Doll Dance, and I'm going to top that with Retrograde, which is like this iridescent blue. It's gorgeous. Just to kind of give it more of that like a mermaidy kind of fish scale pop. Okay, so just one thin coat. I don't need it to be super opaque. Let me get that bubble out of there. And I guess since we're at it, I'll go ahead and just paint that pink base too for the next one. And for that pink base, I'm using rose quartz. That's for this design. Okay. Which is just a really soft pink. It's a really pink color. Okay. Yay, so all the bases are completed. Now I can just move on. Okay, we're ready to go back to our Aloha design. It's perfect. So now I am going to use our white, and using M208, I'm going to go ahead and use this Aloha design, but instead of using that swirl or like a wave for the O, I'm actually going to take this hibiscus from this design and use it in place of. So I actually have a second stamper here. This is my handy pink stamper, my double-ended. Okay. So instantly what I'm going to do is take off that swirl design, just going like that. And take off. There you go. And let me just go ahead and line that up a little bit higher because I'm going to put a flower design. Okay. So now I have to go ahead and grab that flower design using this kind of really light but electric blue here. Ooh, did I get lucky? Looks like yes. I don't really have to isolate too much, which is awesome. Okay. So now I'm just gonna use the hibiscus in place of the O. So it looks like that. Isn't that cute? I think that turned out really, really cute. So see, I used the purple on the first one, but I feel like the blue pops more with the yellow. So I'm glad I tried the blue. Okay. So that's what that design looks like. And there's this beautiful flower design on 210 here that I'm going to use basically like right on the edge right here, like the where your cuticle line I guess would be. Thank you so much for all the compliment about the great ideas, but I'm hoping you can come up with great ideas too. I would love to see any of these designs being recreated by all of you. I know for me and stuff, it looks like it's simple. Some days I have really horrible days, horrible stamping days. It doesn't work out. Trust, I don't only show you the best parts. Like say for example, I think actually my stamping job, you could actually see a little bit more on this nail versus this nail, but it's okay. It looks great. What do you guys think? Give me some hearts if you like how this design turned out. But I really want to get you guys creative because you guys could create this all on your own. Okay. I'm really digging this. I think it's the gradient pattern I really enjoy. Okay, so let's go to this Love the Ride sheer blue design. And we're going back to our M208 plate for that. I'm gonna pick up this design right here. Okay, so using my handy BAM white, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this design and clear off that. We don't want to see what plate we're stamping onto the nail unless you're making that a part of your design. So I'm gonna actually stamp this maybe a little bit above the cuticle line, and it's because I want to make the whitewash part. So there you go. So you see how it's not right at the bottom. Move that on the side. So I'm going to, with this sponge here, I'm gonna peel off just a little bit right here. And I kind of like the fact that it doesn't have a straight edge, and you'll see why, because I'm just gonna take some white here. Actually, I probably should hold it with my more dominant hand, which is my right hand. Take some white polish, not much, and just kind of take whatever polish comes off the brush, and I'm just gonna kind of stipple it onto the nail. So it doesn't matter if it's perfect, but I want to create kind of like whitewash onto the nail. Now, of course, if you're doing this onto your own nail, you're gonna probably put like a little cuticle protector, like poly peel, mani mask, or we have the cuticle protector stickers. Because this part is about to get messy, but there you go. I'm just stippling it on. So it looks like the design is a part of the wave. There you go. And then to kind of make it a little bit more dimensional, using the same, I'm not going to even change that. Okay, so I'm gonna put some of this, it's like a metallic blue color, not a whole lot. And this one is double bubble, which is this blue metallic. Kind of blot out some of that. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of stipple that on over the, not completely over the white, but just so it kind of adds a little bit more color. So there you go. I think that turned out really cool. You like how that turned out? Give me some hearts if you do. So, you know, with like these text style plates, if you wanted to, like on all, you know, 10 nails, if you wanted to kind of take a different word or something like that, you could probably do something like that across all of your nails too. So there's that. Pretty simple. And I like the fact that it's fast, you know. Moving on. Oh, now I get to do the fish scales. Okay, so here I painted on my Doll Dance base. Now I'm gonna put the retrograde. Actually, I'm gonna have to wait for this to kind of dry. So I lied, I won't be able to work on this just yet. There you go. So I know this video probably doesn't do the color justice, but you can kind of see the iridescence in it. So it kind of has like a blue shimmer, kind of tinge to it. It's really sheer if you use it by itself. You could use it as a topper, but in this case, I'm kind of using it to enhance the Doll Dance color. Okay, let me just put that on the side. I think I'm ready to put this one on. You guys want to see? Of course you do. Okay. So like I said, everything is, it looks completely dry. I don't even see any wet bubbles and stuff. And if I do the sniff test, I don't really smell the alcohol and stuff coming off from the polish. So what will happen if you take this dry nail and this, and you put it onto the nail. Well, what's gonna happen is it's not gonna stick. So we have this product called a sticky base coat, and this product allows you to have a small window of time while the product is drying to actually transfer the design to your nail because it is sticky. So I'm just putting a very thin layer of this onto the nail, covering it completely so I can transfer this watermelon design to the nail. So again, if you want to do the sniff test, you can. Right now, of course, it's very strong smelling of the product, but I'm gonna say as far as time is concerned, you probably have about a minute or so, but you want to make sure that the surface is tacky and not wet, because if it's wet, then it's going to actually make your product slide. If it's dry, then it's not going to transfer. So you have like a little sweet window of time. Yeah, I still smell. I think maybe I was a little heavier handed than I thought. So I'm just waiting. Let me kind of blow on it for a little bit, lightly. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, but it actually has some skin marks. Okay. And I don't know if you can hear that. So, okay, we're at tacky level. So I'm going to take my design and I'm going to push it down onto the nail to transfer the design. There you go. Now you can still do this technique if, say for instance, your base coat, so the white that I put under here, is still tacky. It's a little trickier. Or say for instance, you have a dry base and the image onto your stamper is still tacky. That gets a little trickier. I think for most people, they found the sticky base coat to be kind of a saving grace because it's really hard. Unless you've played with the product or, you know, the technique, it's really hard to narrow down how, when is like the perfect time to transfer your image. But there are other ways to go about doing this. If you wanted to also do a decal, you can. I did do another reverse stamping video on that, so I'm not going to cover that today, but there are ways around it if you don't have the sticky base. Okay, so after that, all you would do is top coat it. But let me just continue with the rest of the designs. So let's go back to this. It's dry. So I'm going to do the fish scales. I'm excited because I really liked how that one turned out. So I'm going to use this design here on M210. And I'm going to take Fairy Tale, which is this beautiful hollow purple. It's like a hollow fuchsia. Actually, let me turn this around. So I'm scraping the excess off the plate. Just got to remember to turn my stamper around. Okay. And there you go. There you go. I think that's such a cute color combination. And the last image. This one's gonna take a little bit, but I think when you come out with the technique, it's really creative, and you can create your own image using this. So that's what I really love about this technique. Although it's gonna take some stamping, it's okay. We have time, right? And you don't mind sticking around with me. So I painted on my base. Now I'm gonna use Greenhouse, which is this really kind of, it's kind of like a grayish green. Maybe that's what it looks like inside the bottle, but it's a kind of more like a forest green. Another way I think you could use this, as you see me doing the technique, is if you wanted to get dimensional, you definitely could by using different color greens that you may have. So again, I'm only sticking to this one palm frond design. Okay, clean off. So I have this palm frond. So let me just go ahead and start. Put the design there in the corner. And I'm going to use all the parts of the design. And you'll see. Kind of adds more of like a bushy kind of effect. So right now I am using plate M209. All of the designs that I'm doing today is actually coming from our newly released Hangloose collection. And when I say newly released, like we just released it. Okay, there. I think I'll do one more on the bottom of it. What do you guys think? Is this turning out really nice? Give me some hearts or thumbs up. So you see how I didn't clean it and instantly I was gonna go for the next design. Okay, do as I say, not as I do. I've been doing stamping for quite a long time. When I get lazy, and if I get a good stamp, if I don't get a good stamp, I will stamp again. You know, because it doesn't make sense, right? You know, you go through all this work and if you get a stamp you don't like and then you transfer it onto the nail, then you're gonna have to do this all over again. But it is possible to get a clean stamp if there's polish on there. But my rule is just clean the plate every single time. So if you don't tisk on me, that is just me being stamping lazy and having a really good pickup. So no on Tiana, but I'm actually getting some really good stamping looks. Right? Some areas I just feel like I need to thicken it up a little, but this is what our design looks like. So this is just a design created with a multitude of stamping. The same image and just kind of maneuvering it the way that I want to kind of make you fit your nails. So if you have short nails, then you can just go ahead and do this design on your own nails. So you don't have to make a design, a full nail design fit your nail. You can just kind of create it yourself. Okay, let me get all the designs together so I can show it to you all at once. So here is what we've done today, class. This really beautiful reverse stamp, either watermelon or dragon fruit. We did this beautiful gradient Aloha design, and instead of using the swirl, I did a hibiscus here. Right here, using the sheer polish, we did Love the Ride, and we kind of made some whitewash to kind of look like the frothiness of the ocean. This really beautiful fish scale design with some iridescent blue base and this hollow fuchsia purple. And this beautiful palm frond design. Just using one design with multiple stamping, getting as creative as you want to. And what do we use to top off our design? Right here, smudge-free top coat. So let me go ahead and seal all of these so you guys can see what that entails. So I can finish this look for you. Okay, so just go ahead and put a thin layer over your nails. Make sure to seal in all of your hard work. Let me know if you have a favorite design. I'd love to see your comments. So there you go. Just put the top coat on. And we're ready. I'm so glad you guys really enjoyed these looks. So I will leave that here. So your next barbecue, your next family outing, you know, next time you're just sunbathing, or if you're just cruising in your backyard and you want something bright, here is an option. 5 different options actually that you guys can do for yourself. And I want to encourage you guys to be as creative as you want to be. So of course, these are just my color options. You can totally just choose whatever colors you like and just do it your own way. But here you go. So now you got 5 new ideas. So thank you so much for joining me. Be kind, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. I don't even know if you can see my shaka. Bye guys.